we're going to sketch the ellipse 4x squared plus y squared equals 36. And then we need to identify the center and vertices. So we're looking at this equation, 4x squared plus y squared equals 36. And so if we remember the equation, it always has to equal 1. So the first thing we're going to do is divide everything by 36. Oops, 36. And so we are left with x squared over 9 plus y squared over 36 equals 1. So we just simplify it. Now remember the equation that the denominator here it should be squared. So I'm going to rewrite it. X squared over 3 squared plus y squared over 6 squared, and that equals 1. So notice that on this side that the denominator is larger. The denominator here is larger under the y squared, and then so denominator is larger than the x squared value denominator, so therefore the major axis is vertical. So what do we know by looking at this equation? So first of all, we know the center. The center, since there is no values here, we know that the center is at 0, 0. So that helps us out here. So we can plot the point here. Then we know that these values here, so if this is the larger, this is our A, and then this is our B. And so it's A is 6, and B is 3. Now with A being 6, we know it's vertical, and so we're going to go up 6 units from the center here, and that's one of our vertices, and then we go down 6 here. And then so we can label that this is x is 0, y is 6, and this is x is 0, y is negative 6. And then B is 3, so 3 away from the center on the left and right here. Those are our minor vertices. And then we can sketch this graph here, or oval, or ellipse. And now we just need to identify the vertices. The vertices, which we labeled earlier, is 0, negative 6, and 0, 6. So we identified the center. The center was 0, 0 here, and the vertices 0, negative 6, and 0, 6, and then our sketch here. So try this next example. Sketch the ellipse x squared plus 9y squared equals 81, and then identify the center and vertices as well. So trying this out, you divided by 81 first, or should divide by 81 first, and then simplify. So you get x squared over 81 plus y squared over 9 equals 1. We know the center is still at 0, 0. And because the denominator of the x squared is larger, we know it's a horizontal axis. And then you take the square root of both, so you find that a is 9, b is 3. And so this is your sketch. So your center is 0, 0, and vertices at negative 9, 0, and 9, 0. Let's try another example. So find the center, vertices, and foci of the ellipse x squared plus 4y squared plus 6x minus 8y plus 9, and now we're going to sketch it. So first, what we have here is we need to rewrite this. So what we're going to do first is group like terms together. So x squared, the x's together, and then the y's together. And then what we're also going to do is we're going to move this 9 to the other side, because we want it to look like one of our formulas here. And so we are going to be completing the square. So this is going to be, if I group them together, x squared plus 6x plus some perfect number, and then plus, I'll do it in green, plus 4y squared minus 8y plus blank equals, and I'm going to move the 9, so subtract 9 from both sides, equals negative 9. Okay, so just rewriting things. Now remember, to complete the square, a has to be 1. So let me go on and fix this, or rewrite it. And so let's factor out a 4. So 4 times y squared minus 4 divided by 4 goes to 8, 2 times plus blank, and that equals negative 9. Now we need to remember whatever we do on the left side, we have to do on the right side. So we're going to add whatever the perfect number here is for the x's. We have to do the same thing with the y's. Now with the y's, you need to remember that we are multiplying by 4, so you're going to add 4 times whatever perfect number we find in here. Okay, so just remembering that on completing the square. So now let's complete the square. So here, 6 divided by 2 and then square it. That's 3 squared, which is 9. So I'm going to add 9 to both sides here. Then here on the green for the y values, negative 2 divided by 2, and then we square it. That's just going to be a positive 1. So we're going to add 1 to both sides, which is really adding 4, right? Because we have to multiply by 4 in order for it to be balanced. Now let's write the squared binomials. We have x plus 3 squared plus 4 times y minus 1 squared equals on the right, so negative 9 plus 9 is 0, equals just 4. So now we do what we did in the previous problem. Let's divide everything by 4 because it must equal 1. So now we have x plus 3 squared over 4 plus 4 divided by 4. So y minus 1 squared over 1 equals 1. So we know that this 4 actually is a 2 squared, and so our a value is 2, and our b value is 1, because that's just 1 squared, which is the same. And then now we need to find our focus, or foci. So foci, we have to use c squared equals a squared minus b squared. So then we plug this all in. C squared equals 2 squared minus 1 squared, or c equals the square root of 4 minus 1, where c equals square root of 3. So let's start to label things that we know. So the center, we can look at the equation. The center is negative 3, positive 1. Then we also know our vertices. Well, let's graph this first. So our center is at negative 3, positive 1. Our a value is 2. So 2 on the right, 2 on the left. We know it's horizontal because the a is larger underneath the x value. And we know b is 1, so that's going to go here and here. And so this is what our ellipse looks like. We know our foci is square root of 3, so somewhere in here is our foci. And then the next thing we need to talk about is our vertices. Vertices are here on the major axis. So this is negative 1, 1, and the other one is negative 5, 1. So vertices at negative 5, 1 and negative 1, 1. The foci, so this is how you would label the foci. So notice that the center is here at negative 3, 1. So we're going to write this. So we know that it's negative 3, and we could say it's plus or minus root 3 and then 1. Okay, so it's just moving. So when you get a square root like that, you don't have to calculate or anything like that. It's just going to be whatever that center is. And then if you subtract root 3, you're going to go left and you'll find it. And then if you add root 3, you're going to be here. So that's how you can write that. So now try this example here. Find the center, vertices, and foci of the ellipse. 9x squared plus 4y squared plus 36x minus 8y plus 4 equals 0. Then sketch the ellipse. If you try this out, you would find that the equations would be x plus 2 to the square over 4 plus y minus 1 to the square over 9 equals 1. So you find that a is 3. So remember, it's always a larger number. A is 3, b is 2. Because it's larger underneath the y value, we know that it's a vertical major axis. You find the center is negative 2, 1, vertices at negative 2, 4, and negative 2, negative 2, and the foci is at negative 2, and then 1 plus or minus square root of 5.